Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for many people's favorite series, and that is Emma's Vlogs, and we're up to vlog 28. This is actually the longest running client vlog I've had, because I think with Mike, I think we only got to about 14 or 15, right? Emma, we're now on 28 weeks of training, and this isn't counting her weeks off, right? Because she's had weeks off and deload weeks and things here and there, vacation. 28 weeks. It's basically, that's 6 months. It's actually longer than 6 months. So she's been pretty consistent. Now, she's pretty well ending up her cutting. We noticed on the benching, the pressing strength is getting a little rough. That close grip against red bands, she hit 120. And her best ever with that variation is 125. So we're seeing that little bit of pressing strength regress. And I think with some of it, it looks like we're going to have to keep working her pecs again. So, as soon as she's eating more again and we're gaining a little bit of scale weight to gain muscle, because she's gotten pretty lean again. She's at a nice, healthy, athletic, very lean body fat. We're about to a point where we're in an optimal situation for nutrient partitioning and to gain muscle. We're almost at that point. There's a certain point that we reach where when we reach certain levels of leanness, it actually becomes easier to gain muscle for a short time. So we're kind of at that point now. And if she wants to get a hair leaner, that's certainly her perspective. But once we do that, I think we'll be able to get her bench climbing again. Of course, we put quite a bit on the bench. And we're going to have to put a little less focus on the shoulders. While she was cutting, I let her do a phase of working on her shoulders because she wanted, nice round delts. But we're going to have to get back to some of the basics for the chest work. All right, we're going to need more pause benching, more dumbbell presses. Back to those basics that we do. All right, we're going to get back to some of that stuff in order to, again, get her bench up. Now, I had her do her training max on the snatch grip deadlift. She got to 225. She's like, that's all I could handle. And for anyone who's done true snatch grip deadlifts, notice how far out she's gripping. They're hard. Snatch grip deadlifts are tough. Great exercise. Great exercise. Actually a phenomenal hypertrophy exercise. I think they really shine there, although they are interesting to max with. They're one of the variations, people are like, what other variations do you have your lifters do for volume besides just the conventional deadlift if we want other hip hinges that are deadlifts? That's one of them we do. I've done pause deadlifts for rep work, snatch grip deadlifts for my lifters, sometimes deficits, stiff leg deadlifts. All of those count as deadlifts from the floor, right? And they all do different things. I like the snatch grip deadlift for back development, right? Particularly upper back. I think that's really where it shines. Whereas in things like the stiff leg deadlift really shine on the hamstrings and so on and so forth. Right? Pause deadlifts for getting you through that sticking point. But they are a tool that I use for some of my lifters, and it might be something I eventually do for rep work myself. But I have all these other tools, so I don't tend to do a lot of that. So afterwards, again, her training is pretty normal, what we've been doing for the last phase. She does split squats. Right now we're doing good mornings with the cambered bar. And we do reverse hypers. That's what we do for her lower body. Upper body, it's pull-ups. We're over to those wide grip pull-ups. We do pause benching. We do overhead pressing. We do tricep work. And that's something that comes up a lot. A lot of people are like, some of your guys do bicep work and some don't. Why don't you have all your lifters do bicep work? Because only if they really care about them, to be honest. Because if we're doing pull-ups and chin-ups and stuff, your biceps are going to get pretty big. And there have been plenty of people who've proven that. I mean, Martin Birkin showed that. You just get strong on chins, you'll have pretty acceptable biceps. But if we want to get really strong, triceps is really where we need to put our efforts, right? And so that's what we do. I tend to have my people do more tricep work than bicep. But, some of my people do curls. Usually if we're doing curls, most of the time, though, it's going to be as a multi-joint exercise all the way up to the face. But, I tend to put more focus on triceps because they carry over more to our strength. carry over more to our strength. And here's the thing: if you get to where you can do 20 chins and you have a big lower body from doing squats and deadlifts, which means you're going to weigh more, you can get up to where you can do 20 chins. Your odds are, unless you're me, your biceps are not going to be deficient. But ironically, my biceps are a lot bigger than people realize because they're not understanding my proportions. I've had people who say, "Oh, you have like 14-inch arms." Nah, no, I don't. I'm just that big. But, for most people, though, who don't quite have the same structure and back and everything I do, it'll be fine. I would rather put that effort into triceps. Plus, biceps have a lower threshold for growth stimulus. Triceps can handle more volume. So that's where we tend to put our efforts. And that's where I'd like to see the efforts. Posterior chain, upper back, triceps. This is where we really get strong. And I'm not saying all the muscles don't count. I'm not saying, we don't need pecs and quads and all that, because we do. Those are important primary movers. But if we're really going to put some extra emphasis in certain places, you're going to get more strength out of those others. And it creates a different look. And I've always said that you can tell when someone is strong. Right? You can look at someone's structure oftentimes and go, yeah, that person's strong because they're just built a certain way. And I think it applies to both men and women. We get, again, even leaner women like Emma. You can look at her and tell she's strong. Right, look at the leg development that we've gotten. Right, look at the shoulders. For a drug-free woman. And I mean legit drug-free, not internet drug-free. There's a difference. So, context matters here. But everything's coming along great with her. She's getting strong at those pulls. I think on one of those sets she got 8 of the wide grip pull-ups now. We're getting up there. I mean, we're over to a point where women doing 8 wide grip pull-ups is crazy, because most women who lift can't do one. Even ones who can do a few chins, they can't do the wide grip pull-ups. She's up to 8. So back strength is coming along, and that carries over to her deadlifts quite a bit. People also ask me, hey, how do we build deadlifts? What supplemental lifts? It's like, well, besides deadlifting, hamstring work, like I particularly glute ham raise, reverse hypers, pull-ups, rows, right? Those things will build your deadlift. And she's strong at those things. So we don't do a lot of high specificity for deadlifts. If I ever take her over to a high specificity program, her big 3 will probably climb, because we haven't done that specificity. We've just built general strength. Her lifts would all go up significantly. And, we may do that one day, but right now she likes just being generally strong. We're not chasing a big powerlifting total with high specificity. And if she ever wants to, we'll switch over to that. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.